Good evening, Rockdale County citizens, residents, and friends. It is great to have each and every one of you joining me today. And we've already had a lot of people say hello in the chat. Uh, so let's see here. Lisa Lancaster, Tina Hobbs, Charlotte Gellert, Murray Boysworth, Mary Bosworth, Marie Weathers, Cheryl Moulton, William Campbell, Gail Owens, Polka Dot. Hey man, how y'all doing? Great to have you guys join the show tonight. So it's interesting to see it's coming on the overlay, not coming over here. What can you say, guys? It's technology. It is what it is, but good. It's what we got going on. So great to have you guys here today. Judy Bonds, nice to have you here. Nice little audience building this evening. Cheryl Garcia, good evening, everyone. Ben and Cheryl Garcia are watching. Good to have Ben and Cheryl watching. It's great to have everyone here watching the show this evening on a hot Sunday evening in Conyers, Rockdale County, Georgia. So I don't know how many of you did, but man, the fireworks show in Conyers was really good this past week. Went out to that show, took my wife Beth and I went to the show. Our daughter Ashley and granddaughter Janiyah were also there. So we had a great time with them, being out there and fireworks on the 3rd at the Red, White, and Boom. We also had nice family gathering on the 4th of July at the house. We did a cookout and had grandkids and other family members there. It was great to have people there. So Danielle Munoz, great to have you here tonight, Danielle. The Fit Life with Danielle. So Danielle is very fit. Not like, I can't say that I'm very fit. Danielle, at one time I was very fit and a great athlete. Not so much anymore, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So you guys know, I had a birthday here a few weeks ago, back in the first part of June. I turned 59, and that was a good birthday. I didn't have a party. I never have a party, but I've told my kids when I turn 62, and I don't know what the significance is. When I turn 62, I'm going to have a party, and I'll invite all of my friends here. When I turn 62, we're going to get a venue and have a party. So don't know why that's the age, but never had a birthday party. But when I turn 62, I'm going to have a birthday party, and we're going to get a venue and we're going to invite people. We're going to have a party. So something I want to do. Don't know why, but I decided 62 years old is going to have a party. So that's what I want to do. That's what we're going to do. So so let me see here. George Kilichek could put something. I want to put it on here. Good evening. I have the taxpayers due to diligence indicates another 30-plus year budget increase on the BOE, BOC, and BOC, equating 30% tax rates for city, county, BOE taxpayers. George, did the Board of Commission come out with what their millage rate and tax increase is going to be? That's the only one I've not seen. I've got the percent from the county and from not the county, from the Board of Education, and the percent from the city. But what was the percent that the Board of Commission is going to do? If you wouldn't mind me asking, because I've got it, the 24% between in the city right now with those guys doing their increases. So, well, if anybody knows, what is the Board of Commission? Jill Oden is here, and thanks, Cheryl Garcia, for the belated birthday. Nice, thanks for doing that for me. So, does anyone on here know what the percent from the Board of Commission is going to be? Because I've missed that. If so, but if somebody could let me know and direct me to where to find that, I would be glad to talk about that also. But like I said, I know, Georgia, it is definitely going to be over 30-some%, because right now, if you live in the city with the Board of Education and the city, you're looking at 24% right now. Just those two before the Board of Commission includes their tax increase. Voices for Rockdale, BOC not out yet. And I didn't think it was out, but I am very sure with when that is added, it is going to be well over 30%, because The other two right now, it's 24%. If you live in the city of Conyers right now, you are looking at a 24% property tax increase as of this date right now. There's nothing you can do about it, guys. This is going to happen. I mean, this is going to happen because they've already got this money spent. I mean, that's just that's just crazy. So that's just crazy. It is just crazy. George, BOC still pending, but historical. Oh, yeah, George is correct. And when I was forecasting, well, I'm going to put what George said up, and he is correct about this. Correct, Larry. BOC still pending, but historical data reflects 10 plus. And I agree with that 1,000% that the historical data will that it is going to be 10%, and that would put it 34% for city residents, and county residents will be in the mid 20s, 25, 28%, something like that, depending on what they do. And that's just a hard pill to swallow for taxpayers, with the median income not being that high in Rockdale County, and these taxes just keep going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. So that is just crazy. That's going on. We're just fighting an uphill battle with the Heartless Three, and that's what I refer to the Board of Education, and the City of Conyers, the Heartless Three, because they do not care about you, the taxpayers of Rockdale County, not at all. They only care about spending your money. They don't care about you personally. They don't care that you're getting into a situation where you're not going to be able to afford to buy these properties or to pay the taxes for the properties that they say you own that you don't really own. Because as long as you still have to pay that fee, which is called the property tax, at the end of the year to be able to maintain the ability to stay there, you don't own anything. And that's why I advocate that senior citizens, when they get to the golden age, when someone is 70 years old, I don't believe they should pay any additional property taxes. And you know what? You're going to have these entities say, oh, that's not fair. What are we going to do with our budget? Budget appropriately. But budget the fact that when someone gets 70 years old, the median life expectancy in Georgia is 74, 75 years old. So no, for 4 or 5 years out of that person average, you're not going to get any. You're not going to get any of the revenue for those homes. But when seniors pass away, those houses go back into the market and they go back into the tax cycle. But seniors deserve the dignity of the last years of their lives, not having to worry about becoming homeless because they can't pay property taxes. And I've said this many a time. Senior citizens don't downsize because they want to get rid of the home that they've raised a family in and that they struggled to buy and pay for. Though they end up downsizing because they can't afford to keep the house because they can't afford to keep the property taxes. That's the reality. And that's the truth that we should be talking. And that's the truth that we should be saying. And that's the truth is we should not tax senior citizens out of home ownership. And that's cruel. It's ridiculous. And I don't think that's the foundation that this great country was built upon. I really don't. I don't. I really, really don't. So, but that's just, the way I see it. Mary Boyswood, I would agree with you, but I don't think many people are going to be retiring before 70. I don't, I think at 65, you start the percent to where it zeroes out at 70. But that's what I think. I think at 65, you start zeroing it. I think, if we try to I think at some point we might be able to muscle our way and get this 70-year-old thing to happen. I don't think we'll ever get a 65 because that way they look at it and, oh my God, you lived to 80, that's 15 years. They will go ape bonkers. So I think we need to look at something realistic that we can do. Start at 65 years old of phasing out the taxes, percent them out, and from between 65 and 70, that's and you're right, Mary. You can't afford to retire sooner. I mean, I've been looking at that myself right now. Is what what I think that I can do. I'm 59 years old. The real reality of me retiring is 69 years old when I don't own a home, when I don't owe a house payment. That's the reality. I really don't see me being able to retire still owing a mortgage. And that's what, and then there's things I can do to pay the mortgage off earlier, taking some monies that I have and do this and that. But, I'm just looking at it and I don't really want to do that either. So the reality of what I'm looking at is working till I don't have a mortgage. And that would be 69 years old. And I'll probably stretch it to 70 at that point. So that's the reality of what I'm looking at. So, had a candidate reach out to me this week. I'm not going to say any names because, but they're going to run for the Board of Education. I'm not Board of Commission post 1. So that's very exciting to have individuals already start reaching out, talking about their game plan. So just to let you guys know, what I intend to do is starting mid-September, I'm going to start having candidates periodically come on the show after Labor Day, starting mid-September. I'm going to have people who have filled out their declaration of intent. Someone will have had to fill out a DOI before I let them come on the show. I want them to be a legitimate candidate. So we're going to let them fill out once we know they have a DOI, a declaration of intent filled out with the Board of Elections, and they've asked to come on the show. Then we're going to have candidates start coming on the show in mid-September because we want to start talking issues. We want to start putting it out there that we've got individuals that are going to run for office, that what they want to do, how they want to be different, and the changes that they would like to see, and what their vision for Rockdale County is, so that their vision and our vision can mesh. Because, it's very clear we have 3 individuals that are representing us on this Board of Commission now, Washington, Nesbitt, and Williams, who don't actually represent the vision of the citizens. Because, the chairman will throw you back. It's not Mayberry anymore. It's not this, this slow-paced community, whatever. But, that's actually what people want. The majority of the people who live in Rockdale County want that slow-paced community that they once had. They don't want this high-density housing creature that these 3 entities have created. And furthermore, the city of Conyers has been as guilty of this as the Board of Commission, and the Board of Education playing right into this whole nonsense that they're doing. The Heartless 3 don't care about you, and the reason they're the Heartless 3 is because we as citizens have elected the elected officials that comprise the Heartless 3. And for the Board of Commission, Board of Education, and City of Conyers to have a heart once again, then you and I, the citizens of Rockdale County, we've got to step up our voting game. And what does that mean? Stepping up the voting game means not electing these same incumbents into office who have shown that they don't care about you. Now, there are members of the Board of Education that I want to see reelected, because they've shown that they care about you, the members of the community. And I'll be supporting those individuals. Well, 2 of them aren't up for reelection. They just got elected, Jamie Jones and Sandra Jackson Lett. They just got reelected. So they're not up going to be on the ballot, but our newly appointed member, Justin Kinney, Lisa Lancaster's son, will be up for the election after he fills this unexpired term that he's going to be filling of Wells Barksdale. So Justin will be on the ballot, and myself and this week from Rockdale and the non-partisan organization, non-party affiliated organization, the Rockdale Voter, an independent organization, will be supporting Justin for that office, because Justin has shown, and I've known Justin for several years, been very impressed with his independent attitude and the way he looks at things logically, looks at things analytically. So, Justin looks at things from the point of the taxpayer and the citizen. And that's what we really need. And I've spoken with Jamie Jones and Sandra Jackson Lett. I spoke with them at the Red, White, and Boom. Very impressed with the things that they told me that they would like to see happen as far as education in Rockdale County, and a lot of the same things that I would like to see in education in Rockdale County. Because let me just tell you guys, when we've got these individuals who will talk about this nonsense, let's put the kids first, let's put all this first. If you put the community first, if you put the taxpayers first, the citizens first, then you're putting the kids first also. Because you can't say you're going to put one group ahead of the other, because this is a team effort. You can't punish the taxpayers and the citizens to say you're going to have this excellent educational program, which we don't have. If they really wanted to put kids first, then they would worry about having an adequate number of teachers and teachers' aides, parapros, or whatever you want to call it, in the school system, instead of having the school office, the board office. They want to put additional staffing in that office and have that top heavy. Let's eliminate a lot of that top heavy stuff over at that board office, and let's put more teachers and parapros in the schools so that kids can have more one-on-one. There's where it comes down to. It comes down to educating children in the classroom and having the ability to do that one-on-one with those kids, having the ability to recognize the needs, educational needs of children who are falling behind, and being able to pivot and put people with them to help them catch up and not fall behind. So that's actually putting kids first, and it's doing it with the monies that we have. So I believe right now the Rockdale County Board, the school system is doing some sort of event where they want to collect items and goods and such. I will not be participating, and I will not promote that event. And I will not say that that's a good event, because it's not a good event. We, the taxpayers of Rockdale County, pay enough money. We pay enough money that we shouldn't have to go begging the citizens to provide additional money and resources and items. We, the taxpayers of Rockdale County, pay enough money to the school system. They should be providing these items that they're out here on the street going to beg for. I say shame on you, Rockdale County Board of Education and school system, for not providing these items which are necessary for these children to have a proper education. Shame on you for wanting to hire more people and put in that administrative building than have teachers, parapros, and the proper items and materials needed to educate these children. Shame on you for not spending the money properly. Shame on you for not allocating funds properly, that you have to go out and beg, borrow, and steal to adequately supply these kids with materials they need to get a quality education. That's why a few years ago, when I was chairman of a certain party here in the county, that I was able to put on the ballot, did we think that we should bring Terry Oates back as the superintendent? And overwhelmingly, you, the voters of Rockdale County, answered no. 60%, over 60% of the voters that answered that question said no. Terry Oates should not be the superintendent of Rockdale County Schools. I had people of the other party calling and asking, how can I answer this question? They were outraged that they couldn't answer that same question. They could not. Aunt Charlotte, I'm going to put this up. And the answer is yes. Do parents still get school supplies their children have to have? The answer is yes, Charlotte, they do. And Alex, 100%. People still think it's about providing education. It's about providing jobs. It's about providing six-figure salary jobs in the board office is what it's about, Alex. Not just any jobs, because the superintendent believes that if he surrounds himself with enough of those individuals in the board office, that he is protecting himself. And the majority of these individuals don't even live in Rockdale County. They don't vote in Rockdale County, but somehow they've got all the influence and they've got the ability to decide everything that happens to us. We've got all these outsiders. Terry Oates is an outsider. He doesn't live in Rockdale County. If we're going to pay somebody $175,000 a year, or whatever we pay Terry Oates, then I think it may be more that with salary, with incentives and bonuses and such. If we're going to pay somebody that kind of money, they need to live in Rockdale County. Let me ask you guys, do you believe that if we're going to pay somebody a six-figure salary and they're going to have make decisions over how they spend your money and how your taxes are impacted, do you think they should live in Rockdale County? My answer is yes. It's yes. William Campbell just said it's north of $200,000 that Terry Oates gets with incentives. So let me tell you guys, Terry Oates, so he gets this salary, these bonus. Part of his bonus is if he lowers the millage rate. Now it should be not lower the millage if he lowers taxes, because they play that game about lowering the millage rate when they do 0.1%, but still raise your taxes 12%. That is totally ridiculous, guys. So raising the millage rate is just a multiplier. If you don't go back to the rollback rate, you still raise taxes. So, guys, we've got to understand that the Terry Oates and these characters are Tina Otis, yes. Mary Boysworth, yes. Judy Bond, yes. Cheryl Moulton, yes. All these people say that, yes, if you would get a six-figure salary and you work for the Rockdale County Board of Education, Board of Commissioners, or the City of Conyers, your butt needs to live in Rockdale County. Your butt needs to live in Rockdale. And if you're an elected official, you might need to live in Rockdale County. There's some question whether some elected officials actually live in the county, and we're working on that right now. We're working on that right now to find out if some of your elected officials actually live in the county. You can't even make this stuff up, guys. Rockdale County, we're on the brink of just disaster here in Rockdale County. You've got elected officials who may or may not live in the county. You've got all these bureaucrats making six-figure salaries that don't live in this county. But they make all these decisions and they impact your daily life. That's why we need a new group of individuals running for office in Rockdale County. And like I said, mid-September, I will be bringing these people on the show. Alex, I was going to ask you if you wanted to join me on the show when I do some of these interviews. If you do, I would enjoy having you join me on this week from Rockdale to do that. So, but I am going to start having these candidates come on the show. We'll promote it and I'll advertise it, and we'll let you guys know. But we're going to start having these candidates come on the show and tell you what their vision for Rockdale County is and how they're different from the people that hold office now. I mean, and they've got to be different, because there's no use electing individuals who are going to fall in the same pattern to do the exact same things that the candidates or the elected officials that we have right now. You only think of one school board member that'd be willing to come on. Yeah, I don't know. I've talked to three of them, and I think three of them might come on. Oh, are you talking about that are going to run in 24? Because the other two are not up for re-election, Janie Jones and Sandra Jackson, so they've got no need to come on. But Justin Kinney will come on. He's come on the show before when he ran for something else. So Justin will definitely would come on the show. But you're right. I don't see any of the others that hold office would be willing to come on. But we may have some individuals who want to run for school board that may come on. And then I think most of these individuals that have signed up to run for post one and for the chairman's seat, I think they'll come on and be interviewed. So I think we've got a good group of a good number of individuals who will start coming on the show and talking about what they want to do and the thing and what they want to do that's different. So yeah, I mean, I've already talked to Mr. Ahmad Don't mind talking about him because he's actually, eager to come on the show. And he and I discussed him coming on the show after Labor Day in sometime in September. He plans on coming on the show multiple times, not just one time. Mr. Ahmad plans on coming on the show multiple times between his campaign between now and next May. And because he wants to get his message out there, he wants to talk to you, the citizens of Rockdale County, and we're gonna give him that platform. We're going to give him that platform to reach, because there's very limited ways that he can do that. Now at the Red, White, and Boom, him and his team, they were out shaking hands, talking to people, answering questions. So Mr. Ahmad was out at the Red, White, and Boom talking to Rockdale County residents this past Monday, which is the kind of things he needs to do: get out there and get face to face with people and talk to them about what's going on. So he was doing that, and he was out there reaching out to people, letting them know what he stands for, and talking about the issues in Rockdale County. So can't go wrong with that. And Janie Jones and Sandra Jackson were both out there at the Red, White, and Boom talking to people, promoting things. They were both out there this past Monday, so people could see them, and they were very visible and and communicating with the citizens. So guys, I mean, we've got some people that care about this community, and they've been out there, and then we've got some people who are going to offer themselves up to the community. I've got a meeting this week with someone who's going to run for post 1. They wanted to discuss some things, talk about coming on the show, and wanted to know a little insight about politics in Rockdale County and how to run for office. So I'm willing to provide help with people, because I want someone other than the individuals who are holding office now to win. I do not want Sherry Washington or Oz Nesbitt back in office. We can do better, and we will do better as long as folks like you and I keep up the messaging, let people know they can make a difference, and to let people know that they need to vote in the Democrat primary in May. In Rockdale County, you need to vote local in the Democrat primary. We don't have a March presidential primary. You go pick whatever ballot you want. You vote Democrat or Republican. You do what you want to do in March in that presidential primary. There will not be any Republicans for local office in Rockdale County. You'll have some public service commissioners, which it doesn't matter. They're going to raise your utilities no matter who's on that damn board. So don't worry about it. So guys, we need you guys to vote in the Democrat primary in May. Then in November, everybody's on the ballot together. It's a mixed bag. You vote for who you want to in November, because Democrats, Republicans, Green Party, everybody, if you made the cut, you're on the ballot in November. You can vote for whoever you want. But in Rockdale County, if you don't vote in the May Democrat primary election, you don't have a voice in this county. Your vote does not matter. If you pick a nonpartisan ballot, or if you pick a Republican ballot in May, your vote does not matter, because the winner of the Democrat primary will win in November. You are picking the winner in May in the Democrat primary. So Rockdale County voters, Rockdale County citizens, it is important that you do this. In March presidential primary, vote for who you want. Pick what party you want. In November, you can vote for whoever you want. But in May, if you don't choose the Democrat ballot and participate in that primary, you've got no voice locally. And that's the truth. And you can live in what delusional world you want, but that is the reality that we live in. And let me just tell you, if everyone would vote in that May primary, the landscape in Rockdale County would look a whole lot different. These incumbents would lose this ability to do what they want to do and when they want to do it. And they would have to actually govern more evenly. They would be forced to. But because the primary, the number of people that vote in the primary are much different than the people who vote in the general. a small group of people, 10, 11,000 people, decide the fate of the rest of us in the county in a primary. General election will have 35 to 40,000 people vote. In that primary, we'll have anywhere between 8 and 12,000 people. Those are the numbers. 8 to 12,000 people will decide the fate of the rest of us in Rockdale County. So it's important that if you are a primary voter, Alex asked what other races will be on the May primary. So you will have the sheriff's race, you will have the magistrate, you'll have all the judges, which you'll have some judges on there and they're nonpartisan except for the magistrate. Magistrate court is partisan. You will have a Superior Court judge and you'll have a state court judge running this time. The show's friend, Alex, and you and I, a good friend, Clarence Cuthbert, will be running for Superior Court judge. He's already reached out to me. The show will be endorsing Clarence Cuthbert, and the Rockdale Voter will be endorsing Clarence Cuthbert for a Superior Court judge. Judge Mumford is retiring. So then you'll have the assessor. You'll have probate judge, which is partisan also. You'll have those races. The only state offices that'll be up for election, and that depends if the PSC, the statewide public service commissioners, that depends if they get everything. The only federal things will be Congress, Alex, and that's the 4th district in Rockdale County. And again, that's Democrat stronghold. If we do have a Republican running, I mean, the 4th district is a 75% Republican district. The second strongest, the second strongest Democrat district in the United States, other than the 3rd district, which is next to us, which is, the city of Atlanta, which was John Lewis's old seat. So, the 3rd and 4th congressional district in Georgia are the 2 strongest Democrat congressional districts in the United States. So there's no chance of that. So you have 1 Congress seat. There are no U.S. Senate seats up for election this time. We won't have one of those will be up for election in 28, but we will not have one. One of those will be up for election in 26. We will not have any in 24. There are no statewide offices on the 24 ballot other than the public service commissions, and that's if the court settles how they were redistricted, because that's still a court battle and that's not been settled. So until that's settled, those can't go on the ballot, and those individuals who held those offices they're staying in those offices until the court decide, because it was ruled that the redistricting for those offices violated the Elections Act. So the only possible statewide officials that could be up for election are public service commissioner, and we'll only have one of those in our district, one public service commissioner that we would vote for. So guys, there's really no Republican. If someone is a Republican, not voting in the primary in this election does not harm you. You're able to vote for your Republican choice for president in March in the presidential primary. If any Republicans are on the ballot, then in November, which would only be the public service commissioner, if whatever, and then you'll be able to vote for who you want on the national ticket in November, because it's a mixed ticket. It's everybody's on there together. But May, it's very important for you to choose a Democrat ballot in Rockdale County to actually have a say in what's going on. Yes, Charlotte, the PSC, the decision could affect our 5 commission legislation. That is true. It could impact on how districts can be picked. So that'll be interesting to watch. But that's not been decided yet. And we'll see how that goes, and if the court, because they're pushing up against them, and they're going to have to make a decision. If they don't make a decision by March, then it's going to ride again to another year. So we'll see what happens with that. But there's where we are. Guys, I've ran my mouth enough tonight. So we've been on here for 37 minutes or so. It'll be close to 40 by the time I close out. But, we had an interesting little show tonight. We discussed some things. As soon as that Board of Commission comes out with their millage rate and tax increase, we'll let you know. I look forward to mid-September to start bringing a guest on the show that are going to run for office here in Rockdale County. And I'm excited about the interaction that you, the audience, is going to have with those individuals. So until next week, it's me signing off. Again, you can make a difference in Rockdale County. You can help reset Rockdale. You can make a difference. Get out and vote in that May primary, in that Democrat May primary. And we can change Rockdale County for the better. Thanks, good night, and I'll see you next week at 8 p.m. Sunday, this week from Rockdale.